Today's guest dislikes titles. Although he is an amazing, talented actor and a real-life Viking, he prefers to be valued by how many belly laughs he can get you to have in the shortest amount of time. He calls it SPM, smiles per minute. And he has my heart, the love of my life, Devon Long.
That's the introduction. SPMs. Okay. SPMs. Belly laughs. All right.
So I just want to let everybody know, I asked you to be on the show, and you were like, babe, why do you want me to be on the show? So just to preface and get everybody up to speed, I am grateful enough to interview some amazing, talented people. Some have written books and you know, done all these amazing things.
So why am I?
No,
then you're
no,
here.
no.
You don't really fit into that whole program, but we're going to bring you out anyways.
No, but you know what I realized? I was like, and they all inspire me, but you inspire me on a daily basis with just who you are as a human being. And I was like, you need to be on the show, and I need to interview you. But then I was like, well, that's a little weird for me to interview because I already know who you are. So we did a poll yesterday on all of the social media accounts, and we asked everybody like, what do they want to know? Complete transparency. Like, we're just going to answer. So
I told you not to tell. I don't want to know any of the questions. You did tell me about a couple of them, and they're kind of...
Yeah. So I have some of them here, but just so people can get an idea of who you are, tell me a little bit about who you are and how you got here.
You're really going to make me do the who you know I don't like talking about who I am. And well, I drove here from Venice. I listened to some classic rock because I really like that a lot.
Yeah.
And in the general sense.
Where did you grow up?
So I was born in LA, raised in Culver City, and my parents wanted to have a better life for me and my brother because it was Culver City was a little different climate back then. So we moved up to an island up in Washington, Anacortes. It's in the San Juan Islands, and
which I got to go to for the first time.
Did you like it?
I was blown away. We saw like over 20 American bald eagles in 3 hours. It was insane.
They hang out.
Yeah.
It's a party zone.
Well, and yeah, it's like big trees. Like your whole family are like these big trees. Like
we're big people.
You're very grounded. You're just very Washington. Yeah.
Very Washington.
Very Washington.
Very Northwest.
Yeah.
So I grew up on the little island, Anacortes, and yeah, you know, I thought I was gonna be a basketball player growing up because I was really tall, really early, and
let's just hang on a second. We need to back that up. So, for those of you that don't know, I have a 14-year-old son named Kaleo, and Devon has created a wall so we can measure his height. And
you have to measure your height.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're basing it on
That's a
something.
rule. If you don't have a wall where you measure your height, like, what are you doing? Get a wall. I don't care if you're done growing. You just keep measures.
And it's working because he grew like 2 inches in the last month. But let's just let everybody know that you looked like this. You were this tall at 14.
It happened fast. It was,
at 14.
It's like the movie Big with Tom Hanks, but like I didn't meet the Zoltar. Like I just, like over a summer, it's like 5 inches, and all of a sudden, like I got like facial hair coming on, and my brother's like, dude, you got to shave my back, and he's in 8th grade, and I'm like, what is going on? We became Vikings really quick, and then it stopped. You know, it was over.
Your brother Ryan is 6'7".
6'7", yeah.
And that was one of the questions. People wanted to know how tall you are.
I'm like 6'4", maybe a little more. You know, I don't know. It depends on where the moon's at with gravity and all that stuff. So basketball kind of didn't seem to be in the future picture because I was like, you know, 6'4", and that's just not basketball height. And my brother started playing football, and we're on this little tiny island, 10,000 people, and all of a sudden, all this attention, all these colleges, you know, Texas, Notre Dame.
And Ryan started playing when?
Oh, this is hilarious. Ryan started playing as a junior, but he was on JV as a junior, which is, you know, that's not amazing. And his senior year, he came back just, you know, on a whim and just figured out like, hey, I'm a big guy. I should probably figure out how to use this, and started just kind of throwing people around, and everyone, the whole country was like, who is this guy up on this island? So everyone starts pouring into this island, and all of a sudden I see all this attention on my brother, and then, you know, the spotlight rides in newspapers, and, you know, everyone's like, you know, all these coaches are coming into my house going, we want your brother to come to our university, and I'm sitting there like, what's going on? And I was like, this is so cool. Okay, I want to do that. So Ryan got a scholarship to go play at Washington State. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I better play football too. So I was like, I threw my hat in the ring. And next thing you know, I get a scholarship from Oregon. I go down there to play football and played there for 4 years. And went to the NFL for a little bit, had a cup of coffee, and
Well, you had an injury.
I had an injury, and I had surgery, and I came back, and it just wasn't right. And essentially, the NFL was like, hey, thanks for showing up, but we're going to move on, And that was traumatic for me, That was a really hard time because, being a football player your whole life, like, not my whole life, but for the last 7 years, that was my identity. It was my identity. It was like, hey, I'm Devon, I'm a football player. That's what I do. And that's what people knew me as. And you sign your name and you got a number after your name, like 92, that was it. And then one day, it's gone. And you're like, well, who am I? And it's like, hey, I'm Devon. I used to play football. Like, you lose your identity, and it broke my heart because I didn't know what I was gonna do. I got a degree in college and everything like that, but it was like political science. I didn't want to be a lawyer. So it's like, what was I gonna do? And it was the thing with when you play football, it's kind of like you're married to this sport. It's day in, day out. And, all your time is accounted for. So it's a marriage. And then one day, without you notice, you just get it, your wife comes up, it's like, we're getting divorced, goodbye. And it's over. And you don't get anything to say about it.
Your heart's
There's no
broken.
conversation. The NFL wasn't like, hey, we're thinking about moving on, Devon. What do you think? And I'd be like, well, I got, no, it was like, see ya. And it was, so every time I turned on the TV, it was like having to watch all my friends hang out with my ex-wife. That was really difficult. So I didn't like Sundays or Saturdays for that matter. And so I just kind of traveled around, and I took time. It was the first time I ever had an opportunity to just find out who I was without being a football.
Yeah, all these labels. And,
yeah, I was, and it was scary. It was those, like I was like, what am I gonna do? Should I be a fireman? I was like, well, I got to go back to school for that. I don't want to go back to school. And, so I traveled around a little bit, and it's really funny. I love honesty, I like people that speak the truth. That's my thing. And I used to always hate, like, when I would, we would play football, there'd be these people that would judge, like, quarterbacks. Like, I could have made that throw. Like, that guy's no good. Like, I could have hit that guy. Like, this guy's terrible. Get him off the field. I was like, dude, we know what you're talking about. These Sunday couch quarterbacks, calling shots from the couch. And they could never, own up to themselves. And one day I was watching, like, this comedy with my brother, like a film. And I was like, this is terrible. It's not even funny. And I was like, whoa, I'm that guy. Like, I'm sitting on this couch making fun of someone else's movie, but why don't I own up to it and see if I can make it fun? Why don't I learn how to write and see if I could write, something funnier? And like, why am I going to call people out? Why don't I see if I could do it myself? So I wrote a couple of movies, and I was all green and wrote some scripts, and I was like, you know what? And I got some coverage from an agent out in LA, and I had an opportunity to come to Venice. And I was just like, oh man, they're gonna buy my script. I got another one in the, coming out. I'm just gonna be this big screenwriter, and this is gonna be awesome.
So that's what brought you.
That's what brought me here.
A lot of people don't know that you are an amazing writer. I mean, I haven't read any of the screenplays.
Well,
I get a lot of.
You only know that because we have a lot of text messages.
We get a lot. It's like
really good at texting.
I'm words of affirmation, so you're that's why you're perfect for me. But go ahead. So you come to LA and you have all these screenplays.
Yeah, and I just think that I'm gonna, they're gonna be like, hey, here, here's $500,000, Dev, you're awesome, you can have whatever you want, and well, that wasn't the case. Right away, the coverage came back. I was here for like 3 weeks, living on the beach in Venice, just like loving it, like this is great. What's up, guys? I'm gonna be a legend, and I got coverage back, and the agent was like, that's great job, Devon. You finished a feature screenplay. Like, congratulations, but like, it's terrible. And the structure, and I was like, oh man, like, he's right. Like, what do I do? And I didn't, I didn't stop writing, but I was like, I gotta make some money, because I really literally thought I was just gonna like, just hit it big. So naive. And buddy comes up to me and he's like, hey man, like I do commercials and stuff like that. You want my agent? And I was like, commercials? What are those? He's like, well, you go out for these things and they're on TV. You see them. I was like, oh yeah, those are actors. He's like, yeah. I was like, I'll try that. So I went out and it's just.
You found your niche.
I found it, and I got really lucky. I started doing a lot of those campaigns, and it, it scared me in the room, but the acting and all that stuff. But commercials aren't too hectic. They're like these little like moments, so you can kind of control them. But as one thing led to another, developed into like television and film and stuff like that.
My favorite thing that you've done was the thing you did with Ryan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What was that? Was it the Animal Planet?
That was Animal Planet.
Yeah, that was so cool. It was you just
Going Native was
Going Native, and I mean, you and your brother are just. I'm so grateful because I always wanted a big brother, and I got the most gigantic big brother now.
Yeah, he's yours.
Like anywhere I go with the two of them, I'm like, I'm safe. Like I think every woman's goal is.
I feel safe with him.
Feel safe in life, and like I feel so safe. But the two of you guys are just. You're beyond brotherhood. I mean, you guys are like soulmates and brothers, and you just have so much love for each other. It's so cute. So to see you guys do this show, the one that I saw, you went to the Amazon.
Yeah.
But the whole basis of the show was to see what is it?
So it was basically it's Going Native, and the idea of the show was to discover what it takes to become a man by taking part in rite of passage rituals, throughout, different cultures around the world.
Crazy stuff.
We did, yeah. We went to Hawaii and took part in the hula, and I think the episode
I'm
you saw.
I'm talking about like
was when we went to the jungle.
Like village saliva.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
Chinsa. So we went down the Yurapari, which is this region in Colombia, and we stayed with these the natives there, and they welcomed us into their society, and they were going through this Yurapari ritual, which we were. They had us, and they were delightful to be involved in that. And so essentially we got down there, and the Page, the chief, he had to accept us into the whole culture. You guys could watch the episode.
Yeah.
But we went through a lot of hectic stuff down there, and
it was really cool.
Yeah, piss, and it was.
But that's how you guys live. I mean, we just went to Hawaii as a family, and you and Kaleo, my son, and Ryan and his son. You guys went for 2 days and did your own little ritual. I mean, that's just how you guys are. You guys are like,
you gotta get off the grid. Yes.
I found that picture in my phone the other day of you guys in front of the waterfall, like shaking hands. And you're like, oh yeah, we made a bet. I was like, okay.
No, it was
so
just good
cute.
lighting. I was like, let's get this picture. Come here, this is good. Ryan, do you see this?
Oh, baby. You know what I wanted to share though? I was thinking, because I obviously asked people, what did they want to know? There was a lot of foot fetish questions. A lot of sexual questions. A lot of people want to know how you got your abs.
They are great feet.
Silly stuff. But I was thinking about it this morning, and I was like, if people saw how we are normally, I mean, we go on for hours talking about quantum entanglement and sorcery and past lives.
A lot of sorcery talk.
Yeah, we really just kind of fall into these, and that's one of the reasons, obviously why I love you. But your emotional intelligence is what is so amazing, because I think people see you and they see this like macho man and da-da-da. But the way that you grew up, and I've had the pleasure of spending time with your family now, you grew up in a really awakened place. Like your parents are what a lot of people try to be on social media right now.
God.
Like, your father is enlightened, and he's.
It wasn't cool back then.
I know,
Mom,
he fought it.
Mom was wearing Ugg boots and tights like in the 90s, and she would drop me off at school. I'd be like, Mom, do not get out of the car. And she just knew. She'd get out of the car, and everyone was like, what is your mom doing? I was like, I don't know. They would have study groups, and they would talk about spirituality. And my friends would come over and be like, guys, we can't come inside there, and they're like, why? And there'd be like people talking about, you know,
So there
enlightenment.
wasn't football. Like a lot of people probably think you had,
they
you had,
were
like,
they were like,
football
no way.
house and like that.
I was supposed to be an artist, you know. Like my mom's like, my mom tried to get my brother, Ryan can't play the flute. So I didn't go for the flute one, but you know, she had me in young authors and you know, drawing pictures all the time. You know, because my mom, she's an author and an artist. You know, most of my
Amazing
family,
books on mandalas.
the mandala. She is the specialist with mandalas.
Yeah, she's amazing.
So they tried to get us into the arts, and all of a sudden, you know, Ryan and I were like, "Whoa, like, what's all this happening?" And then all of our friends, you know, we just wanted to fit in, and that was, you know, I guess if you want to know a little bit about me, the reason why I am the way I am, you know, kind of like jovial and you know, the EI that you're talking about, it's because when I was younger, I was different. I had my ears the same size now that they were in first grade, and everyone would flick them, and I was just getting made fun of. And when I moved to the island, I just wanted.
Well, and I think people, like we've talked about this before, like I see other guys when you walk into a room, like people get scared, like they see your presence.
Because I got scary face.
So you overcompensate by being kind and friendly, and you always say like, you walk in every room and you try and make it better, and you do. That's what you do. Like you walk, you know, you just have this aura about you, but it stems from wanting to fit in.
I just wanted to fit in. I just wanted to be liked, and I realized right away, it's like, you know, if you can make people laugh, you can, you know, they're your friends. Like, you know, the more teeth you see, the more friends you have. It's like, so I was just like, whatever. So when I was a kid, I went about it the kind of self-deprecating way. Like I would allow myself to be the joke so everyone would laugh, but then I could still have friends, you know. I just wanted to be a part of it. And it just kind of grew. And then eventually, once I became older and kind of a little more grounded, I think it was probably maybe freshman year, I realized I didn't have to be the joke, that I could just, you know, we could just have fun, and it didn't have to be about me. And I didn't have to be always like, you know, tripping over chairs and being the class clown. Like you could do it differently, you know, you could share it as a mutual enjoyment, you know, and that just kind of stemmed and grew into who I was, you know.
And you've done the work. I mean, you continue to do the work, and we continue to do the work together, and you know, the curiosity and all of
life,
that. Like,
all of it.
Yeah. So should we get into some of these questions?
Yeah, let's get into it.
So one of the questions that everybody wants to know is, how did we meet? And I just want to like.
Do you want to take that one?
Well, somebody asked me like, how do you bring in your partner? Or how did you bring in your partner? And for me, it was very clear because I had gotten out of a horrible relationship prior to you. So I had to do a lot of healing on all levels. And I really made an effort to heal and get clear before I brought in you, my soulmate, whatever, you know. We always have this thing.
So you're responsible, yes. So Jessie, she brought me in. I had nothing to do with it. I was just wandering around. I felt something. I was like, what is over here?
No, it's such a cute story, honey. I love our story. I got really clear, and so you guys, if you want to bring in your partner, I am a huge
that is a good one.
believer of making lists. And I'm not talking about tall, handsome. I'm talking like details. My list is 2 pages, and it's so specific.
I saw the list.
I finally showed them the list.
Great penmanship, by the way, which is a lost art. It's great.
It's horrible.
A lot of people don't know how to write anymore.
I can't hardly read it. So I made my list, and I put it in my little spell book that I have next to my bed under the love section, and I forgot about it. And I'm a huge believer in, you put it out there, and then you just see how the universe brings it to you. At the last minute, one of my best friends, Melody, and I got to go to Stagecoach, which will almost be a year ago. And I specifically said, I'm going to Stagecoach to find my cowboy. I didn't realize till back then, till after the fact. And I'm 5'10", she's 6 foot, and the day before, our feet were hurting because we had to walk so far. If anybody's been to Stagecoach or Coachella or anything like that, you have to walk so far. And we were basically carrying each other home the night before. And I said, we need some 6'4" cowboys to carry us home. And as soon as I said that, I literally turned around.
She summoned me. And I was just like,
and you were walking right towards me. Dressed as a cowboy.
I think everyone starts to walk towards you when they see you. You're like a bowling ball in the middle of a trampoline. It's just the gravity. I was just walking and I was like, I'm going to go this way. And I was like, that's why I'm going this way. And you were there doing that face right there. And I just walked up and I was like, what? I didn't know what to do. So I just kind of got close. I was like, is she going to talk to me? Maybe I'll talk to her. Maybe I'll just be around here and just do something right here. And then lo and behold, my buddy, big time icebreaker, he just started picking everyone up and being a goofball. And I was like, thank God this guy's breaking a bunch of ice.
Yeah.
So then we all started, talking and dancing. And
we danced to Garth Brooks that night. And then I think it was like the following week you had contacted me through Facebook. And we ended up going on a date that was all day long. It was a Sunday, I think. It was all day.
I think it was a Sunday.
And I'm so grateful because, I went on like 2 horrible dates before that. I had made a pact to myself.
I paid those guys off.
I'm going to go on any date anybody asks me. I have to get myself out there. And I almost didn't come when you were like, come. And I was like, and I started having all these like, so happy I came because it's been a wrap. It's a wrap. So.
By the way, that's whatever. It's a wrap. Jesse loves It's a Wrap.
It's a wrap. All right. How did you meet? Oh, are you twin flames? I don't know. What do you want?
The twin flame thing. What's the definition of a twin flame? It's like soulmates, but even more interwoven.
We know.
And then fiery.
We know.
Is there a dragon involved? Because if there's a dragon involved,
I know.
I think we might be twin flames.
I know we know that we've been together in several lives. Like we believe that like people reincarnate and spend several lives
100%.
together. And we know 100% that we have spent many lives together. And for people that are listening or watching, it's like when you're with people and you just feel like, oh yeah, I remember you, but you've never actually met them in this life, you've probably had a past life with them. And that's why I think too there's like such a deeper soul connection, and why our relationship is the way it is, which is probably 100% the healthiest, most beautiful relationship I've ever had, or I could even imagine. Really. And I know sometimes you're like, Jess,
we're not biased at all. We're definitely not biased at all.
Everything's perfect. But no, honestly, we've gotten into like
totally
3
unbiased
arguments.
statement right there. Best relationship ever, but just no.
No, but you know what it is? Because I was trying to figure it out. It's not that we don't disagree. We have disagreements all the time. But it's just that we both respect each other's opinion enough to, how would you explain it? I don't even know. Like,
well, no one's ever going to agree on everything,
right.
But what we do is we communicate, and I sense when there's energy change, like if something happens, I could feel that with you, and you could feel it with me,
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, well, what's up? Let's get in here. Let's talk about it because I can't ignore. I don't like ignoring bullshit. I love being honest and real and just getting in there. And if there's something that needs to be said, let's just talk about it and let's just get it out of there.
Yeah,
and let's go on. I don't have time to go and let things fester and then create a story in my head and then come back and be like, blah, blah, blah. Because it's crazy. If something happens, let's talk about it right then and there.
Yeah.
And I think the thing that we do is that we have the ability to, put ourselves in each other's, perspective. Like I go, I listen to you, and then I imagine being you, and I'm like, oh, this is great hair. And once I get over that and, how beautiful I am, then I realize you're side of the story, and I go, wow, okay, this is interesting. I didn't see it that way, And then I tell you my side of the story, and then we do that. And once you look at it from all angles, you can see it, you can see where it came up, and then we discard it, we move on.
You are a master of that though, and you've helped me with that. Like you literally put yourself in other people's shoes all the time. If you're not understanding where somebody's coming from, you literally put yourself in their shoes. Like not even in our relationship, you do that with Kaleo, you've done that with my other family members, you do it with friends. Like you have this awareness about you that is really rare, I think. Okay, let's move on. Let's see, what else
we
we got?
can keep
What
going
else
there,
we got? Oh gosh, there's a lot of sex questions. It's let me just see. I mean, how do you keep sex? So it was like, how do you keep sex interesting? I mean, first of all, we've only been together a year. So God forbid. Like, I mean, I don't think that's even. I mean, that's not even. relevant.
how do you keep sex
I mean, ask
interesting?
somebody that maybe after 20 years.
I mean, I got a lot of things I could say right now, but I don't know if they're for
What? Okay, say one
Focus
thing.
TV.
Say one thing. Oh, no. I don't know. Okay, let's move on.
the next one. More coffee in the cup here.
Okay. Well, everyone wants to know who's got the better abs. Devon has the better abs.
That's a question.
I eat all the carbs. He eats no carbs. He eats all the meat. I eat no meat. This is our balance.
I like the Beyond Burgers now, and I'm starting to loosen up.
He does.
I had salmon last night.
I got him on the Beyond Burgers. If you guys don't know, do yourself a favor. Beyond Burgers, pea protein. It's amazing.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But a lot of guys do want to know, I mean, and I know you're like, oh, like, it's so funny because you would think that you're this like, I love going to the gym and showing off. Devon hates going to the gym. He doesn't talk to people. He puts his headphones on. He does his workout.
Those days are gone. Now I have to talk to people. What's going on?
Yeah.
People just want to know. It's really simple, you know. First off, everyone's a snowflake. So, like you said, you're eating bread, and I'm like watching you. I'm like, what? How is she doing that? You know, I can't do that. But be an alchemist, you know, man. Like start like sampling your body. Everyone's got different makeup, and so I learned, 10 years ago, that if I didn't eat carbs, that's cool, you know. And
so you literally don't eat carbs, and you really don't eat sugar, other than alcohol.
Well, we got stevia and stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
we got little treats that we
You
could
have
sneak in there.
glucose,
Yeah.
But you're very regimen with your diet and what you put into your body, for sure.
Yeah, and it just eat right, and the better you eat, the less time you have to spend in the gym.
Yeah.
Once you get kind of some momentum going, you go in there 3 times a week, do it hard, get some sweat happening, have a good time, listen to an audiobook or something.
Yeah.
Party on.
And we've been doing yoga every morning.
Yes, we have.
Really nice.
I tried to get out of that a lot, and
I come up with the celery juice and the yoga mat. He's like,
there's 2 celery juices. You're gonna drink the ones for me and you. So I have to drink this after.
Okay, so this is a little bit deeper. This is interesting. Was it hard?
Let me get.
Okay.
This, by the way, I think this was a bad choice. This vest.
It looks great, honey.
It's on me.
Was it hard for Cleo to accept Devon? That's interesting. I think parents and single parents worry about that with their kids. And I didn't. We developed a relationship well before you even ever met Kaleo. And I remember the day that you guys met. It was so cute because he was cool as a cucumber, and you were nervous.
Well, are you sure?
Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't spend a lot of time talking to 14-year-olds, so it's like, I was like, well, how do I approach this kid? And I was like, well, I'll talk to him. And I didn't really know, so I started talking to him like a young kid or something. He was like, and he looked at me, he was like, why are you talking to me like an idiot? And I was like, oh, he's actually intelligent. And it took me some a bit of time to realize I just talked to him the way I talk to anyone.
Yeah.
And if I treat them different, they catch on to that. These kids are smart. And then I remember, I was like, I remember being 14. I remember when like an adult was like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, I am 14. Like, when you're 14, you're like, you are an adult.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and you have your own history. A lot of people don't know this, but your birth dad. So how do you explain? You were a stepchild at one point, but your dad is your dad now.
Yes.
So that's kind of hard to explain. But you know what it's like to be a kid with a new father figure.
Absolutely. Parents got divorced when I was younger, and my bio dad stayed in LA. We moved up to Washington, and I was 7. And my mom remarried my dad, and my stepdad, who I call dad, when I was 5. And so, there was the, down here and back and forth visits and stuff like that. But when we went up to Washington on the island, my bio dad just kind of faded, and just eventually vanished and just disappeared for like 10 years.
And this was actually on my list because it's so huge for you to have
to find a guy who
was-
had a dad that vanished. Yeah, no one has dad that vanished.
No, seriously. No, because there's something there. There's a compassion. Like we were talking about this the other day. Like I was a stepmom when I was in my early 20s. And I remember I wanted to be the best stepmom I could be because, I mean, I was dating somebody that had daughters, but I wanted to be the stepmom because I knew what it was like to be a stepchild. And that's the compassion that you bring into the relationship with you and Cleo, who, you guys have now developed your own relationship separate from me. And it's amazing.
Well, he's a cool kid.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm pretty, I hope he doesn't watch this. I don't want him to know that I think he's cool. Cliff, if you're watching it, you're okay. If you're not watching it, he's actually pretty cool. Like, really smart and funny. And we get along. I mean, like, he's just like a regular friend. So I treat him like that. It's like, but he just happens to be, 20 years younger.
Yeah.
Or
He's an old soul. He gets it. He gets it. All right, let me find two more good questions here.
Yeah, let's get some good
This
ones.
is interesting because I don't know, you could take this on a philosophical thing, because I'm not really sure what they mean by this. What's both of your human design? Are they talking about Palladians?
What model am I? Well, I'm the XKP Viking model. We're obsolete now, but we just got the update. My OSX software, it's malfunctioning a little bit from time to time, but
we love talking about like alternate realities and
yeah. We like talking about stuff we don't understand, and so these conversations are fantastic.
Well, somebody actually did ask, have you guys done drugs together? I'm like, wow, that's an interesting question. I don't do drugs. I mean, marijuana I don't consider a drug. I actually started using marijuana again after my dad went through his whole battle with cancer, because I saw how many benefits there were with fighting cancer cells and inflammation. And, it's legal here in California, so I started incorporating it into my thing. But you know more about plant medicines and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, ayahuasca and, psilocybin. When I grew up in Washington.
Where there's mushrooms everywhere.
That was a rite of passage. Like, you got to do mushrooms and at an early age, and that's just what you do because they're grown out of the cow crap, and you got to go pick them and stuff like that. So, yeah, drugs happen. We're going to talk about, there's people.
No, I think that's, we're normal, and I think that's the transparency of it all. Somebody says they want to know if you ever get serious because you're always a joker, and you're a natural actor. Like when you have an audience, you put on a show for sure. But you have a very serious side, and you're very.
Did you write that question?
No, I didn't write it. I swear to God, I could show you on the thing.
There's someone who knows me out there. That's a good one. Okay, that's a good one.
No, are you ever serious?
I am serious.
Yeah.
A lot.
You're always serious.
I just what I do is I follow my instinct. And so a lot of time my instinct is just to laugh and SBMs, like you said, but sometimes that's just not me. Sometimes I don't feel like trying to laugh. Sometimes it's not natural. And sometimes, there's time to engage and listen and talk about, philosophy and stuff like that. I love it all. Yeah. Having dynamic and the ability to wear different hats is, fantastic. I do enjoy laughing a lot. And that's, when a lot of people meet me, that's what they get, they're gonna get like that, because it's hard to get in a real, in-depth conversation right away. But yes, I do get quite serious a lot. Especially when I'm alone. Obviously I'm not in the mirror like doing stuff. I get very introspective, and
I think you might be actually, honey. I've caught you alone, having some conversations with imaginary people.
If you don't have an imaginary friend, get one.
So everybody wants to know if we're going to have children and if we're going to get married.
Yes and yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. This is. Should we tell them about the prediction? I'm not going to say. I'm just going to do a little taste. Little taste.
You're gonna get a little taste?
No, because this will be interesting if it comes true. We
What?
went.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. we went to a psychic who actually I would love to have on the show. Very interesting guy from Turkey who does Turkish. He's a Turkish coffee reader. So if you guys don't know what that is, you drink the Turkish coffee, you flip it upside down, he reads the grains. Now, this guy, how dead on is this? I took you for the first time and you were like, I don't believe in this
well,
guy.
you know, I always want to believe first, but there's always a little voice that's like, let's watch him. You know, I'm gonna sniff around and just vibe this dude. And if I catch anything, I'm like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
You're full of shit.
Yeah.
You know, but the guy,
he gave us names and time frames, and he was dead on about a lot of family members. And so last week we went, and it was really funny. We actually brought Kaleo too, who he couldn't read because Kaleo's too young. But he did give me a little insight on Kaleo. He's like, oh, Kaleo has a girl that he likes, but she's not in his class. And I was like, Kaleo, is that true? And he's like,
oh, Kaleo's like,
how did he know that?
what's going on? What else did he tell them?
What else did he say?
Kaleo, we know what's under your bed, and you might want to take care of that.
But we're kind of tripping out because he told us that we're having twins. So we will see. I'm not pregnant, by the way.
just two of them. Just two of them. I just see myself just going like this everywhere. Like, what's up? Hey, Jeff, how's it going?
I mean, everywhere. I know what it's like, obviously, to have one by myself. So I guess it would probably be like doing that all over again. So you get one and I get one.
Absolutely. That's perfect. We can switch them off.
All right, honey. So I ask all my guests, and you know I'm about to ask you, what is your golden secret?
I mean, it's so simple. You know, you just be the person you want to be around. That's it. You know, it's.
I thought you were going to say grandma's.
Well, that's her golden secret.
Oh, well,
Grandma's golden secret's awesome. And
she's a legend.
My grandma's, she's 87. And when we were up for Christmas, we asked her, I was like, Grandma, what's going on? You know, because she is bouncing around, she's moving around, up and doing stuff.
She is more swift
She's
and
fluid.
agile in her body than most 25-year-olds. Like jumping on the couch, sitting like this,
crisscross
and like
applesauce.
making the fire, and like getting glasses from. I mean, and I said to Devon, because I think Devon's just used to him having a grandmother, and I was like, that is not normal. Like, did you just see what she was doing? Like how, like, because I know as a yoga teacher how many people are so stiff and rigid in their bodies. And so I was so impressed with her and her personality. But so we asked her
And she said, stay curious, stay creative.
Yeah.
And that's a great.
And it's so true because that's how you don't, I feel like you don't age. Like if you continue, I think a lot of people just stop learning and they stop, being curious.
If you become stagnant, you're going to fester, there's going to be pond filth that grows on you, and you're going to be this, murky thing, and pollywogs are going to live inside you, and you're just going to be a swamp.
Pollywogs.
Those are the things that happen. I used to catch frogs when I was a kid. Pollywogs are actually very valuable if you can catch them as a kid, but then they turn into tree frogs. Anyways, they hang out in swamps. So the whole point is if you're curious and creative, you have movement. You're seeking out things. You're looking around, and you have an initiative. So you reconnect with the river, and you're moving, and you're headed places, and fresh.
And then
delicious salmon in there.
Be who you want to hang out with.
No, be who you want to be. Or be who you want to be, man. That's sick. All right. Be the person you want to be around.
Yeah, be the person you want to be around.
That's it. It's simple.
It's true.
Yeah.
So true. Nobody wants to be around a negative Nelly.
Oh, I love laughing. I love people that are honest and real, that you could have conversations with and just be free with. And I bring that to the table, and I look for that in others. It's not a secret, Is it a secret?
All right, babe.
That's it.
Yeah, I love you.